Awesome, man.
All
Evening,
right.
all. How's it going? Welcome to another Lockdown Live chat. As usual, joined with my awesome co-host, all the way from Joburg, the purveyor of all things Dracona Media, Mr. Alec Larson. How's it going tonight, good sir?
It's all good, man. This is going to be a cool talk, so let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm amped. I'm amped. We've been rolling the whole production, music, retail side, covering everything from audio, like studio recordings, to digital, the retail side of it. So now we got to bring somebody in that actually knows pretty much all of that in terms of actually delivering an end product in the form of performance and sound. Today we're joined by all-around SA rocker, multi-musicianist, multi-session artist, touring vet. I don't know what else to call him. You guys know him as Mr. Craig V. How's it going?
How's it going, dude? Lekker. Wow. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff you said there. Wow.
Well,
cool.
You know, we got to dive out the red carpet verbally for somebody as much pedigree and heritage as you. So let's.
Oh wow!
Let's
thank you. That's true. I don't know what to do now.
No, it's fine. Just answer. Well, just answer the questions and we'll be good.
All right. So thank you.
So yeah, let's like dig right deep into it. As usual with all of our lockdown chats, we usually start the conversations at the beginning of lockdown, and the event and entertainment industry was one side during the pandemic that got really hit hard. And in terms of somebody that was so affluent in the industries such as yourself, how was the whole lockdown for Craig? And how does it feel to actually be back in the saddle performing again in some capacity?
Dude, it's crazy, man. Well, yeah, so when the lockdown started, it was just, I just thought it was a joke, you know. I just remember playing at a place down the road, and then people, you know, there was these rumors about locking down, and no one really believed it, especially me. And I was still, that's a load of bullshit, and it's not really, nothing's gonna happen. And I still played, and I made a joke over the mic. I said, I hope I get COVID, and then the next thing, like a week later, I think there was a last gig, and the next day the president said, hard lockdown. And then it was just nothing, and then it was like, what can you do? You're just floating, you know. You just can't do anything. Couldn't buy cigarettes. Yeah, at first it was the toilet paper thing. I don't know. We obviously you guys went through it, so I'm not even going to go through the whole thing. But it was just a really floaty, weird existence. It was crazy. But I got into a lot of recording and a lot of editing, like on my own, just little stupid things, and did little cover things. That I covered a Slayer song. I covered a Motley Crue song. I did some TV theme tune things and made stupid videos about Corona. I made like 4 or 5 funny videos. I took what's the video? What's the song called? Da 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 da. My Sharona, and I called it My Corona. And then we didn't start the fire, but we what did we call it? We didn't start the virus, and then and there was another one. Fuck, it doesn't matter, dude. Anyway, and then then last year when it kind of lifted a bit, I just played. Dude, I just played and played and played and played, and it was a lot of it was just for tips, you know, because I just wanted to get back out there, and so my whole Corona experience was pretty crazy in that my landlord kind of helped me out with the rent. He just halved my rent, and people were delivering chow here and all sorts of things. So I didn't suffer as a lot of. It was watching the pennies, but it wasn't like maximum suffrage or anything like that. But then when the lockdown, you know, like I said, when it lifted, I was just playing, and then I think just before Christmas did he closed it down again, and then that was just like losing money like that. And now that it's been lifted again, it's been play. Not so much. Did a couple of recordings. There's a little side project I'm involved in with a dude from Germany and another buddy of mine, Ralph Sinclair. We've got like a little punk cover band on the side called Die Toten Onkels, and another chummy of his and ours in Germany, who used to be the lead guitar player of VOD. I don't know if you know VOD. You should know
Voice
VOD.
Voice of Destruction, of course.
So Johan de Jager, who played lead for Voice of Destruction, he lives in Germany now, and he's got a project going that I'm involved in called Lockjaw, and it's more along the lines of the Exploited. It's kind of like it's that bordering on Slayer. It's that punk just before you get Slayer. The one ingredient is slower drums and no Tom Araya. It's just like this fucking boldness, this crusty punk fronting Slayer basically, with about with no Kerry King, just Jeff Hanneman and him again, and then a bass player, and then that kind of thing. So that's what we've kind of been doing now. But during the lockdown, it was more the Die Toten Onkels who were doing covers of Suicidal Tendencies and fucking Green Day, Offspring, and we even did Billy Idol and shit like that. So it was fun. Sorry, dude, that was a lot.
No, it's perfect. That's awesome.
Cool.
You've mentioned a couple of genres that you're getting involved in, and obviously you've been involved as a session or a live musician in a lot of genres, from blues to metal. Is there any genre to which you like gravitate towards more, or you just love music, is it more about like sharing that live music irrespective of the genre? So I'm guessing if you have a preference.
Well, I mean, my heart is made of heavy metal, big time. But then what got me to that was like funk and voices. So, but when you're younger, when you're like a teenager and you're a metalhead, you're not allowed to like anything else. I don't know. It was like that when I was growing up. Your girlfriend was a goth chick, because there were no chicks. There were no chicks who were into metal. Only a little bit later, but dude, it's about the song at the end. I can't say that I love metal. But the older I get as well, like I can't wake up with. I was just about to say I can wake up with some like extreme shit. A lot of the times I go to sleep with War Master by Bolt Thrower playing. I don't know. It just fucking soothes me. You know what I mean?
Man.
I mean, when it comes to session stuff, it's obviously what the people want to hear, and then you kind of get into that thing. But it's not like I have to shift out of this mind and get into another mind to do that. It's just automatically there. That's if I can pull it off, So
it's like, I guess it's Craig turned up to 10 depending on the intensity, but like the key kind of being still just play the shit right,
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, Craig's always turned to 10 anyway. There's no numbers below that, dude. It's one
Well, we have spoken to a couple of artists. The one thing a lot of artists have mentioned when it comes to live performance, in terms of acoustic performances, that tends to be the more challenging of the instrumentation to actually play, not only like in sound, but actually in proficiency. You as somebody that actually has been playing a lot of acoustic bass sets recently, a lot of collabs and whatnot with acoustic guitar. Do you agree with that statement?
Dude, I don't know. Well, it's definitely easier than playing. It's definitely more difficult than playing electric guitar, because firstly, you're not going to get that sound. So you want to get the thing to carry on, and you get aggro with it and you jam it. And when you got to play leads as well, the strings are a little bit higher and they're a little bit thicker as well. So it's not so much the vocal thing; it's more the guitar thing. So yes, okay. I can only speak for guitar, and I say it's easier to play electric guitar than it is acoustic. When you play, if you're playing the same song, you know what I mean. Like if I'm playing "This Love" by Pantera on acoustic,
right,
and you get to that middle bit that goes, it's fucking. So it's supposed to be all down, but it's just like it's a little bit extra. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, little bit more finesse on the strings, I guess, on the acoustics. You know, you really want to assert it, get that sound.
But then when you're playing heavier shit like that, then you get into it. I do, and end up paying the price with my forearms. So I'm take this opportunity to try to raise money for a carpal tunnel syndrome fucking op.
I think after this we'll start a GoFundMe account. We will we'll set it up to save Craig's wrists for the near future.
Not this one. This one.
So yeah, let's delve a little bit kind of more into that, because like we mentioned, you've kind of dipped into a lot of different genres, kind of a multi-session artist, if you will. I mean, obviously you've been doing this a long time. We're not going to give away any of our ages here, but you've been involved in a lot of collabs, a lot of projects, and a lot of things. So is there anything that, like, now, I guess, in the twilight years of the metal career, are there any like memories that are there any wicked, like, or fun memories that come to mind in terms of performances or bands that you've collaborated with? Anything that stands out now, like now that we're kind of dipping into future gigs, maybe?
Collabs. I played a solo on a song called Medusa on Terminatrix. That was a lot of fun. Medusa was on, I actually forget the album's name right now. They're gonna kill me for that. Paul and Sonia. I mean, Paul I've known since was the VOD days. The first live gig I ever watched was VOD. I was 16 years old in Cape Town. Paul on drums, Greg McKeown on guitar, the fucking mighty Francois Blom on vocals, and Paul on drums. Anyway, I played on Medusa. Pat was on that as well, I think. Patrick was part of that band then. And then we did a little collab during lockdown as well that they haven't released yet, where I play guitar. I'm actually not going to tell you what the song's name is, but I'll just say that's coming up. I don't know when they're going to put that out. Paul and Sonia from Terminatrix. What about Quibus? I'm a member of Quibus.
Really? Huh?
Yeah.
That's I know the big dogs.
And
you know?
I'm just waiting for Theo and Francois to write the songs, because that band is predominantly based on, well, it is based on those two getting together, and the magic comes out of them. They're the Paul and the McCartney of the Afrikaans heavy metal thing. So what did I play? We did a recording of Hunderman, which is just fucking crazy cool, but it's a heavier version. And then I did a solo on a song called Doya Macy Seni Niani. You guys that you know what that means, right?
Yes, we do.
Please tell me you know that.
100%.
Oh god.
And else have I jammed with, dude? So many fucking people. Robin Stellick. I don't know. Do you know who Robin Stellick is?
Doesn't ring.
Robin Stellick. It makes me so sad that a lot of people don't know who he is, because he's a fucking legend. He's one of the original members of Hog Hoggity Hog.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. He was in a band with Dave Beretta Owens from Lithium. They had a band called Gimp. I think.
Yes.
Gimp, yeah.
Yeah. Cape Town
OGs. Robin's just been in so many bands, and he's a massive reason why a lot of people got into punk and ska. I think he is, because this guy just turned up, and we would be fucking moshing to Sacred Reich, and then all of a sudden he tunes whoever was DJing. He put this on, and then all of a sudden you've got this ska, Bad Manners, and then you get like the first time I ever heard of Rancid was through him, and all these bands, Lars Frederiksen and the Bastards. Anyway, Robin and I also did a thing with Bong from the Rudimentals and Adam from Pothole. I don't know if Adam did Adam play for anyone after Pothole? Was it
I was going to say maybe. I was going to say maybe Sacrifix, possibly, but I don't want to. I don't want to say that I'm wrong. I'm hoping we can have him in a future show. Actually, he's another.
Yeah,
he's another.
Oh, Adam's the balls, dude, and Greg Nutter. He was the drummer.
Oh, yeah.
Was he the drummer? Oh.
Yeah. Well, he added guest vocals. Yeah.
No.
He added. He stood in a few. He's probably in the chat as we speak on, actually now. So
right.
Anyway,
these are all dudes that I grew up with, man. We used to go to this club in Cape Town called Arties, and fuck, it was amazing, dude. Like, I live in Somerset West, so at the time I think I lived in Gordons Bay, so I'd have to hitchhike to Strand and then catch a train from there to go to Arties, get fucked on Black Label, and mess around with a little thing called acid. Oh my god. Anyway, sorry, where are we? Where was it? Recordings and stuff. So Robin, myself, Adam, Bong, and it was supposed to be George Bacon, who was in the scene as well, back then. He was just George. He had beautiful straight blonde hair. I used to call him Gorgeous George. And then and they had a band called Leviathan. Anyway, so the four of us, George was supposed to do vocals, but he passed away, obviously. He sadly missed. And then so Robin asked me to put some vocals in there and wrote some lyrics. And that hasn't been released yet either. So I'm just telling you about that. Who else is there? Donovan Toes, obviously the mighty Donovan. Him and I've got a little project called Last Dot Dave. Been recording some stuff there. Oh, but you want to know about big names, eh? Simon Porter from Lithium. I think that's a big name. To me, those are big names.
That's legit.
Matrix. Of course, Imperial Destruction. Did I record anything on there? No, I don't think I recorded anything. Well, I recorded them and produced that CD of theirs.
Hope they get back together in the near future. But anyway, yes. Yeah.
Sorry, dude. Fucking verbal diarrhea there.
No, it's great.
I love it. This is exactly what it's all about. Plus now nobody can get pissed off that we haven't mentioned some critical people in the SA metal scene. So fuck it, we're doing good.
Oh man, there's so many more though. So I mean, there's so many other bands. Like we used to watch every Saturday. We didn't realize how spoiled we were, or how much I should rather say how much we'd missed them in later years, because we just fucking got nailed over the head. It was every weekend. It was VOD. Then there was Raven Wolf. There was a band called Raven Wolf with Cliff. Dickon from VOD used to play bass in that band as well. And this guy called Cliff, he used to play barefoot, and he had this fucking this toy alligator that hung from his keychain. Who else was there? Sleigh Ride. Okay. Do you guys know who Jerome is? Jerome de Gouveia?
Nope.
Okay, he's the head. I think he's the big kahuna there at Paul Botner's Music in Cape Town.
Right.
He's got long black hair, and he was the drummer of Sleigh Ride, and we used to watch them every fucking weekend, dude. And then the bands, they were the three main ones in the beginning, and then bands started kind of building up. Sacrifix, Pothole, fucking, what was the other one? Apathy. That was Krenon. There was a chick. She was the only chick who used to mosh good, and she was quite attractive as well, old Krenon. And then Apathy. And I can't even think of some of the names. I mean, we used to make up names and go. A friend of mine found out about placenta, because at the time no one, what the fuck is placenta? It's afterbirth. But he said, you know what we should do when we get to Arties, because there's a lot of tape trading and stuff. We should go there and just ask if anyone's heard of placenta. And then we go there and then just dudes, have you heard this fucking band Placenta? And no, it is the shit. You think Deicide is bad? Come on, watch this. You think Morbid Angel is rough? Check out Placenta. And then all of a sudden there's a buzz around the place, like people asking, who's got this Placenta tape? Meantime, we just made the shit up in our heads. We should have made a fucking band at the time. But I was way more into partying back then than I was into playing guitar. So anyway, next.
No.
I don't even know.
That's cool.
There wasn't a question. I just took over it.
No, it's perfect. I think what's cool is that it does lead perfectly into the next sort of question. You've got quite a good history in terms of the local music scene and whatnot. So
Yeah.
how do you mentioned the old now? Now we're going to bring it forward to
Yeah.
the new. What is your view on how the South African metal scene has changed, and like what do you think of the bands that are coming out now?
Oh fuck, dude, it's chalk and cheese, eh? I mean, look, you know, like Tom Araya says, there is no heaven without a hell. There is no, you know. So, I mean, songs are ridiculously right now, but then it was cool as well. But if you A/B them, it's just what gigs, bud. I mean, there was only a couple of drummers around who could handle what was happening at the time. So blast beats was still in this infancy type thing. And if you had someone playing a blast beat, you lost your shit. Like Stellick. I mean, that Robin, he could play a fucking blast. So, and Paul as well. Paul Blom. Oh, dude, I don't know where to start. I mean, the production of the recorded music was completely just fucking basic. The gigs as well, sound, you were lucky. I mean, some of these guys were singing through guitar amps, you know, they'd be singing through that. And sometimes it was just the drums were just unmarked, and you'd have a bass amp on one side and a Marshall on the other, or a fucking crate or something. And then the dude blasting through, you know, going through there. It's chalk and cheese, bud. Musicianship as well. I mean, fuck, now I'm really sounding old, but there was no YouTube then, you know. There was no, hey, how does that guy play that? It was like all the old bastards say, you know, slow a tape down or slow a record down, that kind of shit. But yeah, the metal scene now is ridiculously right. I get so sad that that some of our guys over here aren't, you know, you can't really make a living out of it. That's part of being South African as well. You know, you just get along with it. You're in a badass metal band on the week, you know, after work, basically after your day job. And then it's so kiff to see some of the guys getting out there, like you know, when zombies when those guys went out, and you know, Mind Assault as well, when they went out to was it Romania?
Yeah.
But there was also there's also that band, and he's gonna
Three
kick
of
my
Omen.
ass. Hey,
Three of Omen also toured up there. I believe Facing the Gallows also
did
made
they?
a bit of a tour. Like newer guys, Velvedinier
That's cool.
obviously also toured quite a bit.
That's cool. It's
so,
not to check that more, and I mean that's where Patrick is so key, you know, like that has done so much. Fuck. Anyway, I don't know. Sorry, I hope that answers your question about
Yeah,
the
100%, man. 100%. And
I don't know. Yeah.
And like, I mean, obviously you mentioned like recording quality and stuff like that has changed. How do you feel about like this digital wave of being able, like everyone being able to now relatively easily release music? Like, you know, like it used to be like quite a high barrier to entry to actually record something, and now it's like anybody with a couple $1,000 can set up a studio. So
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's pretty cool. The problem is that we just get knocked over the head with music the whole time, and we don't even know. I mean, unless there's someone out there that knows every fucking single thing that gets released. It could be just plagiarism the whole time, as far as we know. Because sadly, a lot of bands fall and sound like the same, you know.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people were saying Sepultura sounded like Slayer in the beginning, and I don't know how they see that, but I mean, at the time there wasn't 10,000 bands. I don't know. I hope I get my point across here, because I tend to speak.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think probably to add to that, like you were saying, like you were mentioning, like Sepultura being compared to Slayer, probably because they had the guitar tone what a thrash riff would be, and that's probably the issue, is that we got subgenres now that people gravitate to. So when there's a band that wants to be a mellow death band, they literally try to mirror image those things subconsciously from those bands that they gravitate to.
And
where I think
a
it
lot
was a
of
lot more raw.
Yep.
I think with you guys it was a lot more raw and experimental back then, where you were just trying to make some noise that sounded like, you know, like a coherent message, you know. It's just like all untapped territories.
Yeah, look, I mean, I have to say that I wasn't actively playing in bands back then. I was just a fan and a drinker, and just kind of grew up with those guys. But yes, but I was so into the music as well back then that you could hear the difference. I mean, it's so fucking weird. I was listening to one of my favorite albums was Bathory, Blood, Fire, Death. It's like, that's now black metal. Back then I didn't know it was black metal, and I can't fucking listen to that at all now.
Yeah.
The production of that, it's just like it irks me, and I don't want to piss anyone off, but that's one genre that didn't really grow on me, was black metal. It's so weird though, because Bathory was one of my favorite bands, you know. But I gave it a try. With things I can still listen to, that's another thing. And let's go back to what you were talking about. Dude, yeah. So I mean, fucking snare drums sound the same because of these plugins and things like, you know, the other chap was saying, what's his name? Lance. What's our co? Fuck, I don't even know what you guys' names are.
Lyle.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Lyle.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, my head is very scatty, and sorry, no disrespect.
This is the way of the rock star. This is how it goes. You've met more people there than you could actually like forget. You know. So it's like,
but that's still not, that's no excuse. Fuck that. So sorry about that.
Good.
But what he was saying about the, you know, someone with a couple of $1,000 could just start a studio and stuff, and that's the problem to me, is that you can start hearing it's the same fucking snare drum, it's the same kick sound, and the guitars, the plugins are just, everyone chooses like a Gothenburg sound or a whatever sound, or so it's very hard to tell who's the one band from the next. For me it is, you know. Yeah. Unless it's something completely like extreme. Like I remember what's that fucking one, like Nile. I mean, you can hear it's Nile. I'm not even going to put Gojira, of course. I'm not comparing Gojira and Nile, but you can hear Gojira's Gojira. Job for Cowboy, I still struggle between the difference of Whitechapel and Job for Cowboy. Somehow I can't tell them apart if I'm just listening A, B. But so there's no disrespect to these guys. These guys are fucking monsters, you know. And the sad thing is that they're playing all that stuff live.
Yeah.
So they definitely deserve the props. It's just when it comes to hearing it, it's like I don't know where to go. Oh, so I was gonna say I do miss tape. Recording on tape. If you can somehow get, I mean, Theo Kraus was explaining to me one time, quite a while ago already, but it's grown more in me since hearing it all those years ago, when he was talking about how bits work. You know, when your computer is so many bits, and when you record in 32-bit or 24-bit or whatever, how much information per fucking frame of time or whatever it is. When you compare digital recording to tape, it's just not in the same league at all, because you can hear, I don't know how to explain it. There's this clarity.
Yes.
Fuck, I don't know how, you can still hear it. You know what I mean? Like the snare drum sound of Donald Tardy on fucking Cause of Death, compared to the snare drum sound of, say, Mario from Gojira. Mario's got a cool snare sound, but you can fucking hear the difference somehow, and it's more than EQ, it's more than compression, it's fucking something, and it's got to be the tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fucking off the place. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
I think we we've actually reached quite a good point to sort of wrap it up. I think.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, no, we've knocked out a good 27 minutes. It's been really great to have you on the show, and it's
Thanks,
great
man.
to be able to like reminisce of the good old days and get your views on how things have progressed. You know, not everyone we talk to has had exposure to both, so it's cool. Thank you so much.
Bro, you gotta. Yeah, my pleasure, man. What did you guys think of the new Mind Assault, eh?
But that was the omitting question that we had. Obviously, you worked with Shark on that. You made him sound like basically a crossover of a thrash and a death metal demon at the end of it. So yeah, man, kudos on that. Amazing work, and you can be very proud of it. I think South Africans can be proud of that. I think that's a band that really has waved the flag high for many years, and
absolutely.
Obviously you contributing to the mix, it just made it sound like just a little bit more deeper. So
yeah,
Craig,
look, I mean,
thank you, man.
Jacques
You just keep on rocking. We'll keep monitoring your social media. When you do post stuff, we'll be the all-seeing eyes. And where you guys can support, go check out the Bandcamp links to all the projects. We'll include it in the description. And Alec, I think that's it for another week. What do you say?
Yes. Thank you so much, guys.
Guys, thanks again.
Thanks,
have an awesome week ahead. Keep rocking.
You guys
keep supporting the metal. We'll see you guys next week.
Fucking nice. Ciao, guys. Bye.
Guys.